Morning shock, evening release. Inside the Prince Andrew incident. The British public awoke to confusion and disbelief as reports began circulating early in the day. Prince Andrew, the younger brother of King Charles III, had been detained during the morning hours. The news spread rapidly across social media platforms, online tabloids, and international outlets, igniting speculation, concern, and renewed debate about the British royal family's long-standing struggles with public trust. By evening, however, the story took another dramatic turn. Prince Andrew was released. What happened during those tense hours between morning shock and evening release? And why did this incident immediately reopen unresolved questions surrounding one of the most controversial figures in modern royal history? A morning that began like any other, until it didn't. In the early hours, there were no official royal statements, no press briefings, and no visible signs that anything extraordinary was unfolding. Yet by mid-morning, multiple reports confirmed that Prince Andrew had been detained for questioning related to an ongoing matter that authorities described only as procedural. The lack of clarity was striking. Royal watchers, journalists, and the public alike were left piecing together fragmented information. Some outlets emphasized that the detention was not a formal arrest, while others stressed that it was part of a routine inquiry. Still, the symbolism was impossible to ignore. For a man whose public role has already been stripped down to near invisibility, the word detained carried weight far beyond its legal definition. Why Prince Andrew remains a lightning rod. Prince Andrew's name has, for years, existed in a space of controversy and discomfort. Once known as a decorated naval officer and a prominent royal figure, his reputation dramatically shifted following past allegations and highly publicized legal battles. Though certain legal matters were settled without admission of wrongdoing, the damage to public perception was already done. He stepped back from official royal duties, lost military titles and royal patronages, became largely absent from public royal life, and yet he never fully disappeared from the national conversation. So when news of his detention broke, many felt an unsettling sense of déjà vu, another chapter in a story that Britain has struggled to close. Silence from the palace. One of the most notable aspects of the day was the silence. Buckingham Palace issued no immediate comment. Royal aides reportedly declined to clarify details. This absence of response allowed speculation to thrive, fueling headlines that range from cautious to sensational. In modern royal communications, silence is rarely accidental. Every pause, every delayed statement is carefully weighed. For critics, the lack of transparency reinforced long-held frustrations. For supporters, it suggested restraint until facts were fully established. But for the public, it created a vacuum, one filled quickly by assumption. The emotional weight on the monarchy. This incident did not occur in isolation. The monarchy is navigating a delicate period marked by a relatively new reign under King Charles III, public health concerns surrounding senior royals, ongoing debates about relevance, accountability, and reform. Against this backdrop, any controversy, especially involving Prince Andrew, feels heavier, more consequential. The question many quietly asked throughout the day was not just what happened, but what does this mean for the crown? Evening brings release and more questions. As daylight faded, confirmation arrived. Prince Andrew had been released. No charges were announced, no further action was immediately disclosed. Authorities reiterated that the matter was addressed according to procedure. For some, this brought relief. For others, frustration. A same-day detention and release often raises more questions than answers. If the issue was minor, why the detention? If it was serious, why the swift release? The lack of detail ensured that the story would not end quietly. Public reaction. Divided and emotional. Online reactions were sharply divided. Some expressed sympathy, urging restraint and fairness. Others voiced anger, citing past controversies. Many simply felt exhausted by yet another royal scandal. What united them was emotion. Prince Andrew's name still evokes strong reactions, and this incident, brief as it was, reignited feelings many believed had settled. A family under pressure. For King Charles III, the situation is deeply personal as well as political. As monarch, he must uphold the dignity of the crown. As a brother, he faces a private family strain played out on a public stage. Observers noted that this incident underscores a painful reality of modern monarchy. Personal matters rarely remain private, and familial loyalty often collides with public responsibility. Media scrutiny intensified. Within hours of Prince Andrew's release, analysts and commentators began dissecting every detail. The timing, the language used by authorities, the palace's silence, the historical context. International media revisited past interviews, legal settlements, and royal decisions, weaving them into the narrative of the day. Once again, Prince Andrew became not just a person, but a symbol of controversy, privilege, and unresolved accountability. What this incident really reveals. More than anything, this episode reveals how fragile public trust remains. Even without charges, even with a release, the shadow lingers. For many, the issue is no longer legal, it's emotional and symbolic. The monarchy, once shielded by tradition and distance, now operates under constant public scrutiny. Every action, every misstep is magnified. And Prince Andrew's presence continues to test the institution's ability to move forward while carrying the weight of its past. The story isn't over. As night fell, Britain was left with more questions than answers. Morning shock gave way to evening release, but clarity remained elusive. Whether this incident fades quietly or resurfaces with new developments remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that Prince Andrew's story still resonates deeply, touching nerves that the monarchy has yet to fully heal. For now, the day ends without resolution, but not without consequence.